focus this year for the council is on reducing food insecurity. Our focus is on growing food, but thinking about the ways in which that is an access to larger kind of social issues. What are the causes of lack of access or food insecurity? So thinking about the ways in which systems are set up to serve people in inequitable ways.
And racism is all included in that. We may not think of it, directly, but indirectly it is affecting people of color who don't have access to good jobs, who can't afford to take care of their families.
Race is still closely connected to sort of health outcomes and things like income, and so we can't necessarily solve all of those problems all at once, but I think it is important that the approach that we have is really thinking on a systems level about how to take action. So it's about food, but and physical health, but it's also about people being connected, social health.
The healthiest food for people inner city is not located in their neighborhoods. A lot of corner stores which do not provide fruit and vegetables.
The closest, cheapest supermarket that we would go to would be ShopRite. But you would have to have a car or you would have to take the bus. It's cheaper to eat fast food or junk food. You buy a bag of chips for 25 cents and you think that's going to fill you up versus the apple that costs you 75 cents each.
The New Haven Land Trust is a local nonprofit that has 46 to 50 gardens depending on the day. So we are at Chapel Seed Community Garden. There are about 30 individuals or families that garden in these plots. So this used to be an apartment building, but it burned down a number of years ago. And then it was a vacant lot. It was collecting trash and loitering and all kinds of things that the neighborhood didn't want. And so they all banded together and were able to convince the city to turn it into a garden. And now, it's served a really important gathering space for the neighborhood. All walks of life participate in the gardens. We have some retired folks, we have families with young children, we have people that have been in this garden for over 10 years. In a lot of our gardens, we have recent immigrants or ethnic communities that will grow things that they can't get in America, but that they really enjoy cooking with.
The kids get a chance to, do something that's important for the, earth, but then at the same time also important for the local communities. So I think that's why we love it. It's very hands-on. You get dirty, you get to do stuff that's really, you can see the change. So they've had a great time doing it.
I've been a community activist for as long as I've lived in New Haven, so I've been in New Haven at least 50 years. What I want to do is improve the security that people can feel living in my neighborhood, because my neighborhood has an issue with crime, we have an issue with drug use, etc. So we're just trying to improve people's living space. I've been doing backyard gardening for like 30 years. There was a lot down the street from me that had become like a dumping ground for trash and stuff. So I said that would be perfect because it's full sun. I said it would be perfect for a garden. So I just went to the Land Trust, the LCI, which is the Livable Cities. I went to both of them and asked them about getting access to the lot for a community garden. And from there, everything just happened.
The garden is taken care of by kids and adults in the neighborhood. New Haven Land Trust, Common Grounds gives us seedlings and plants. Everything that is produced on that property we give away for free or use here at the house. In creating the community garden, the fact that food was growing there, people sort of started like, oh wow, I'm not going to throw my garbage there. And the kids in the neighborhood, I think for them it was like really important to do something, to keep the neighborhood clean. So the community garden, if anything, it's an asset in the neighborhood. It's not the eyesore of an abandoned property where people are just dumping on it, or doing drugs on it. It was more now it's being productive. It's helping the neighbors, people can eat from it, people can have fun.
I enjoy the outdoors. And any opportunity I can get to go outside and be outside and spend time working in it, and it sort of connects me with nature and with God. And so that's why I stay active with the community garden. And I think it's good for my health too. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, it just sort of helps me to be who I am today. We have a lot of new residents on the street, so I want to have them become more involved in it. and also getting them to understand how growing their own foods will cost them less too. I just wish I could get people to understand how important it is to have fresh vegetables available to young children. If you start at an early age, then it would be a habit that they would, carry on as they grow older too.
Growing up, there was always fresh fruits and vegetables. Everybody gardened. So when you're able to have into your community healthy food where you know what's being grown and developed, it's wonderful.
And also brings the community together too. It's like, a social activity that you could take part in.
It brings it to that community atmosphere where you come, you meet your neighbors, and you're able to develop friendships.
Yes.
Don't forget we got 4 beds over there, so we gotta come. You know what I want to see growing is cabbage.
Yes.
We try to make our neighborhood a better place for people to live in, to want to create a stable environment for them to want to live here and raise their kids. Usually you hear all the negative story on the news. It's like there's a shooting on Rosette Street, oh, somebody overdosed and so on. But there's a lot of good that happens on Rosette Street.
We talk about like redistributing power and
Yeah, I mean that's
dismantling
it's the start.
oppression.
It's the start.
You gotta
Everything
start
starts with a
somewhere.
seed.
You gotta
Right?
plant a seed.